Hey everyone, Crypto Kiwi here, and in this video I want to show you about the 53 GPUs that I have on Kryptex. I want to show you how much that's costing me as far as the power running all this, how much power does it use, and how much profitability do we have at the end of the day, and is it worth it? So we'll get to that. First of all, I want to show you the hardware in the shop. We'll have a look at what I do to offset some of my power costs and what my effective power rate is. Then we'll get on the computer. We'll look at how much money I've made, and we'll look at how much profitability it's got every day and every month, and what my thoughts are on that going forward. But for now, quick overview of the hardware at the shop. This is the bulk of the 53 GPUs that I have mining. I've got excavators 1 through 6 here, and I've got a 3090, 3090 Ti's, 3080, 3080 Ti's. There's a whole rack of 3070s there, and by whole rack I mean 12. I've got a few 3070 Ti's on the bottom. This is a rack of 12 3060 Ti's. A little mixture of kind of odds and sods on the bottom. I've got 4 2060 12 gigs and 2 1660 supers. And then I've got a couple of other cards around the place as well, just doing some CPU mining. So these are some AMD, 5950Xs, or I have some 7950X or X3Ds as well around the place. If the fans aren't going, it's just because it's pretty cold right now, winter. So sometimes you'll see the fans start and stop and things like that. But they're all happily mining away. So that's everything that we have out in the shop. That's all the rigs. Let's go and check out what we do for from a power cost perspective. I guess here you can see, the rig of 3060 Ti's, how that's working out, profitability, etc. So it's interesting. Obviously, Kryptex, it switches algorithms, it switches what it mines based on profitability, so sometimes you'll see it flick and change. That one's plugged in just to show you what it looks like on the rigs. All right. Here we are out of the solar farm, and this is a key part of the strategy. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you're probably aware of what I have, but I've also made some significant additions to the solar farm. So I have 180 panels in total, and I know it looks weird, they're all facing different directions, but there is a reason for that, for the strategy. It's also not the sunniest today, but that's just how it goes. Some days you make a lot of power and some days less, so you have to factor that in. But these two arrays, 75 panels here facing southwest. Here's a 50 panel array that's facing south. And the latest addition that you won't have seen on any of my other videos yet, and I'll do some more videos on the solar piece, is this. I've got 20 panels on a 45-degree angle facing east, and I've got 35 panels on a 45-degree angle facing west. And in total, that makes a consistent power output throughout the whole day. So I've got power first thing in the morning, and I've got power, throughout the day, and then also into the evening as much as possible. So in summer, it's fantastic. You've got 14 hours of sunlight. I'm making power throughout that whole period. Winter, not so good 10. Obviously, it's a little more cloudy, things like that. But, it's overall, you just have to work out whether that makes sense and how much you can get out of it. These latest panels I got, the prices come right down. I only paid about $180 for a 400-watt panel. These are a Trina Tier 1. They're also bifacial, so they have the ability to pick hits when the sun hits it from the back, and on a 45-degree angle, you get a bit of sun in there. They actually produce some power that way. So I'm making power throughout the day, which is really awesome on these panels. So this helps my strategy significantly by having these kind of panels, and you can see this. This is quite a feat. 14 feet up to the top. But anyway, I'll do another video on the solar. I just wanted to highlight, though, that this is a key part of the strategy and how it keeps my overall price at a profitable limit. All right, we're inside looking at the computer. Apologize, I'm not screen sharing. I just wanted to make a video real quick and get it out. You can see in here that I do have 53 GPUs, according to Kryptex, 11 computers, using 9.5 kilowatts. Profitability, well, it's actually revenue. It's not actually accurate because I can't put anywhere in there how much how much my power rate is. But you'll see I have those excavators that I talked about in here, and then I have a couple of 59. Well, one's a 5900, 5950X, 7900, 79, etc., etc. So they are also CPU mining, and the power usage, it says, does not calculate that. So if you look at the GPU, I've got a 4090. Actually, I have a few 4090s as well. That's some of these other machines are using 4090s. Let me see. This one's got a 4090, and I think this one has a 4090. So I've got 3 4090s in here too. So there is a good mixture of cards, not just 3000, but also 4000 series cards. So really, I would say the power consumption is more than 9.5, and that fluctuates as well based on what it's mining. Sometimes it says 10, sometimes it says 9. It varies in between. So for the purposes of some calculations, I'm going to say that this is actually, more than 10. We might even just say 11, which I think would be absolute worst case. Don't think it's 11, but we'll go with 11 for that purpose. So anyway, if I break out one of these rigs, you can see in here that this one has 12 3070s. So they're happily mining away. All right, so how much, if we click on balance over this side, you can see that my all-time earning on this has been $3,200, so 0.034 for Bitcoin. I have a balance of nearly 560. Usually I'll pull that out around there. I don't like to keep too much on, not that it's an exchange, but I don't like to keep too much on, in these mining places. As far as profitability goes, from a Satoshi perspective, it was a lot more profitable, apart from, the last couple of days, the market's been a bit lower. We're December 10 here. So there's some days where my profitability is 1,000. We're actually on one of the lower days around the 700 mark. So it's usually, 700 up to 1,000. So, it's probably good that you're seeing this on one of the worst, profitability days in here, because we can see if it still makes sense. So it's just going through and re-enumerating things. Okay, so I'm fortunate. I only pay 10 cents a kilowatt, and with my solar, that gets it down to about 7 is the effective rate. So if we're going to say 11 kilowatts at 7 cents, what's that going to be on my calculator? So 0.7 times, let's just keep it at kilowatts. It's going to be 7.7. Correction, I'll read it. It's 0.07 is going to be the rate times 11 kilowatts. Means I'm paying 0.77 an hour. So times 24, and let's say times 30. So I'm paying $555 a month, and I'm bringing in about $750 on a bad day. So there's still $200 of profitability in this for me, as it is. And that's saying that we're at 11 kilowatts, factoring in some higher usage at time plus some CPUs. And sometimes this profitability is 800, 900, or definitely 1,000. So it's definitely worthwhile for me to be doing Kryptex at 7 cents. At 10 cents, well, I guess we can see if that would even make sense, as it depends what different power rate. So that would be 0.1 times 11 kilowatts, and then times 720 is the same as 30 times, so 792. So that probably wouldn't quite make sense at that rate. So you really need less than 7 cent power to either break even or be ahead. So that's where I'm up to with this. Will I keep doing this? Well, it's been great. The last few months where crypto hasn't been doing so good, because it switches around based on what's the most profitable. Well, that's been good. But now, GPU mining is getting profitable again. There's a whole bunch of things that I like to mine. Flux is one of them, so I'm probably going to do some switching of some of these rigs across to Flux, because I really want to stack some more Flux. But this works as long as your power rate is probably less than 10 cents. Although it does also, determine what kind of cards you have. So a 2060 is obviously nowhere near as profitable as a 4090, for example. 4090s are good, but overall for my farm, this is working. Just want to give you a quick update. Hope that was useful, and we'll see you on the video next time. Thanks. Bye.